It's almost like this guy knows how to drive his car. Well, good morning. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's Thursday morning. It's bright, it's sunny, it's gonna be hot, and I find myself seated in a black Corvette C8 Stingray. Not a bad way to start the day, I gotta tell you. Thanks to my friend Pat for letting me borrow his car for this video. I'm shocked. I know how much he loves this car. So, Pat, thank you so much. First thing, being inside here, it's pretty roomy. You can tell it's American made by the fact that I've got a decent amount of room. I don't know if the seat goes down from where it is. Not really, but I could tip the seat back a little and get some helmet space. Seems to be an important thing, probably because I don't have any in my car. This car has the 2LT package. So it's got the taller wing. It's got, of course, the good old Chevy small block. It's got long tube headers. It's got a larger throttle body, freer flowing air filter, and it sounds magnificent. So we are going to take this thing for a drive and see what we think. Corvettes seem to be the thing, because just yesterday I filmed my last video, which was Brett's C6. So I guess I gotta find somebody with the C7 now and get the trifecta. Anyway, let's get underway and see what we see. All right. Electronic park brake. Kind of cool. I've had enough vehicles with those. And let's get underway. So, first thing, this thing is nice and quiet inside relative to the exhaust noise outside. So far, anyway. We shall see what happens when we get out on the road. The car is equipped with a nose lift that raises the car 2 inches. It has been lowered 1.1 inches all the way around. It's got a more aggressive front splitter. It's got those side skirts that you'll have seen. And it's got programmable nose lift apparently, which is why we didn't scrape over that speed bump we just went over. Now, this is my favorite color really for the C8, other than Rapid Blue. I love blue cars, I can't help it, but black, especially with the stealth PPF that it's got on it, just looks so aggressive and so sinister and so kick your ass badass kind of vibe to it. I love it. Pat, you did a great job on speccing this car. It's very hard to go wrong with black on black. I love it. The thrust wheels were a nice touch as well. They're just a nice enough contrast to make it stand out. Display on this thing is really nice and legible. It's easy to see. The controls are all right here. Set up, of course, for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Removable roof, I don't think we're going to do that because I don't know where it would go. We'll check the front out in a couple of minutes, see what kind of space that has. But in the meantime, let's see what this car is like on the road. Okay, so that's just normal acceleration, maybe 1/10 throttle, which is how much more do you need in city traffic. Traffic is actually very light right now. I'm pleasantly shocked by that. So I'm thinking maybe we'll go get a coffee at my favorite spot, Empty Cup. Guys, you really need to start sponsoring my videos. The mirror here is actually operated by a camera on the roof. Kind of different, but at the same time, kind of makes more sense. The seats are comfortable. They're very comfortable. You got a lot of great lateral support on the sides and at the bottom. Headrest is at the right height. That rear view camera does give a bit of a weird vibe when you're looking at it if something's going the other way. Just because it is a camera, it's got kind of a fisheye effect to it. Very smooth. Very daily driver, as a lot of modern sports cars are. Some would even make the argument that this is in fact a supercar. Got a naturally aspirated V8 behind you, rear wheel drive. Kind of sounds like a Ferrari 458, doesn't it? The brakes are very sensitive. But very easy to modulate. You get a nice bit of sound from the inside, but it's not overpowering. It's very well insulated for sound. You know what? In the interest of pardon, we're going to go to a different location. Okay, I found one thing I'm not so crazy on. If you've got your thumbs resting on the arms of the steering wheel, the turn signal stalk is way up. But somebody decided it was a good idea, and it didn't have to be me. Very impressive. Now, when I borrow a car like this, of course I ask the owner if there's a list of do's and don'ts. And Pat's biggest don't, as is the case with everybody, don't crash. So, I'm not going to do anything too crazy. I love this car almost as much as Pat does, I'm sure. Another downside, as with most mid or rear engine cars, is the rear 3/4 blind spot. Pretty massive. Even over the driver's shoulder, it's pretty blind, but that's what mirrors are for. In fact, I'm sorry, Pat, I hope your mirrors go back to the way they were, but for safety's sake, I'm going to adjust them. Actually, passenger side's okay. So yeah, for just poodling around town, I mean, it's a big honking V8, probably not your ideal vehicle for going to the grocery store, but you could, especially with that nose lift and some of the speed bumps and parking lots at malls these days. And apparently it's very easy to go over the speed limit. Oops. Alright, let's see how it is in manual. It does, of course, have a DCT box. I've been driving it in automatic up till now. But can't have that. Nice firm shift, I like that. I guess the roof is easy enough to take off. 2 latches here, 1 back here, and off she comes. Probably doesn't weigh much either. I wonder if you can get a transparent one like on Brett's C6 from my last video. But yeah, this thing has total Batmobile vibes. Even just sitting inside with it all black like this and the way the screen is canted towards the driver, it's really well designed. No squeaks, no rattles. If memory serves, these are rated at 450 horsepower stock. With the mods Pat has done, I'm gonna say maybe we're up to 470. All right, now obviously I'm not gonna bring a coffee into this car. I will be back in a minute. It'll be a second for you guys, but yeah, best coffee in Winnipeg. Okay, I'm back. Great coffee. I had a cortado. Only learned about that in the Matrix 4 of all things. Anyway, best coffee in town, bar none, empty cup. When I got in, one thing I noticed was that this car does have blind spot indicators, so that's cool. I would have been shocked if it didn't, but you never know with car manufacturers. So we're gonna head over to one of my secret spots, take some pictures, and maybe get a chance to drive this thing a little more. We'll see you when we get there. done in my secret spot. And this thing is surprising. It's an absolute oxymoron because it's supposed to be this sharp-edged sports car slash supercar slash midlife crisis mobile, we'll say. And at the same time, it's all of that, maybe minus the midlife crisis thing, but it's very sharp, it's very direct, it's very everything you'd want it to be, but it's civilized. It's civilized until you ask it to not be civilized. It's it literally is just an oxymoron. You hear mid-engine sports car, you're not thinking, I want to do a long road trip with this thing. But this and that R8 V10 that I drove a couple of weeks ago, modern cars are surprising. It's the only way to describe them. They are surprising. It's I'm kind of at a loss for words. I need to go buy a thesaurus or something. I'm not sure about the square steering wheel. I mean, it works, but at the same time, you may as well just kind of go cut the top off. Whatever. You're not spending a lot of time driving like this, I would imagine. Paddles are nice and close, just right at fingertip distance for me. The fit and finish inside here is really, really nice. Let's drop it back into manual. And yeah, for the MSRP on one of these, it's outright surprising. I really hope I get to try a Z06 now, because this is very enjoyable. The torque from this thing is just effortless. Like, it's just there. There's no turbo lag or anything like that. I mean, naturally aspirated, of course there would be turbo lag, but it's just instant. And I guess that's one of the most endearing qualities of the small block Chevy engine, is that it's just there. It's the only way I can describe it. what do I think of the C8 Stingray? Given that I'm not really a professional car reviewer, I don't have really much to compare it against. I will say that I think it's fantastic. I've only done, what, 3 or 4 car reviews up till now. It's certainly more comfortable than the 4C. I would say it's as capable as the R8. In terms of looks, I mean, it's a fantastic looking car. There's no getting around that. The way Pat has set his up with the headers in the intake and the throttle body, it sounds fantastic. I really love it. And yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to get one if I found myself shopping for a car anytime soon. But anyway, sorry, staring at it over there. Anyway, thanks for watching as always. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you next video.